shelter, bro. I don't tell nobody that. I still have shelter sheets in my crib in New York.
CENAT grew up in the Bronx, just a 30-minute train ride from Midtown, packed into a small apartment with his 3 siblings and a single mother who worked 4 jobs just to keep food on the table. CENAT learned early on that nothing came easy. He bounced between schools, and at one point his family ended up in a homeless shelter in Georgia. Now eventually they found their way back to New York, and every summer Kai would leave the city for a few weeks through a program designed to give underprivileged kids a break from the noise. And that's where he met Kathy, his host parent, who after nearly a decade of spending summers together became family. But for a while, until he found it, Kai felt aimlessly and unimportant. He wasn't the tallest, strongest, or most physically impressive student at his school, and he certainly wasn't the one who was selected first for gym class. When he reached high school, things started to change. Facebook skits turned into YouTube videos, and he finally discovered the purpose and meaning he was lacking. After graduation, he got his first big break when a Ding Dong Ditch video went viral, instantly pushing his channel to well over 30,000 subscribers. However, that moment wasn't coincidental, it was just what Kai had been planning for. Considering that, now that he had attention, which is leverage, he pulled out the playbook he had been secretly developing since middle school, and Kai followed it. One prank led to two to 4, and each video built on the previous one, with the views piling up like dominoes, and Kai finally appearing on the board. Kai made the bold decision to leave college and devote himself entirely to YouTube. In the end, viewers returned for Kai, not simply for the jokes or the titles, and in 2020, a large content group called AMP invited Kai to join. It wasn't just another group decision, it was a moment. He didn't have the largest platform or the most views, but what stood out was the way he worked and fit in. They could tell right away that Kai had energy, and joining AMP would give him a team, a stage, and a spotlight. His first Twitch stream was an instant hit, drawing over 1,000 viewers in real time for an unprecedented debut stream. From reaction content to gameplay, it was instantly clear streaming unlocked something in Kai that no other platform had. He wasn't just entertaining, he was electric, and the internet noticed. By the end of July 2021, the entire AMP team had moved in together, and their feeds were exploding. Kai was averaging over 17,000 live viewers each stream at that point, but it was only the beginning. From there, he pushed the boundaries, and the ideas became louder, larger, and more insane. He hosted a Riz Academy one day, transformed the AMP home into a petting zoo the next, and even created partnerships with some of the most well-known celebrity figures. After reaching 1 million subscribers and 1 million Twitch followers, Kai's next move shocked the world by starting a 30-day marathon in February 2023 that redefined what it meant to go all in. He broadcasted around the clock during an event he named the Mafia Thon. This wasn't just a stream, it was a spectacle, a relentless non-stop showcase of endurance, charisma, and sheer willpower. The Mafia Thon wasn't just about gaming or reaction, it was a cultural moment. Traditional celebrities and top influencers flocked to his stream, turning it into a collision of internet culture and mainstream fame. And from viral challenges to late night chaos, every hour brought something new, something unpredictable. And then just days before the final stream, Kai did the impossible. A new all-time record on Twitch, 306,000 active subscribers and counting. It cemented his name in the Internet Hall of Fame and fueled a trajectory that was only going one way.
With that tense scene here in New York City, thousands of young people converging on Manhattan's Union Square Park.
We've just learned over the past half hour that 65 people have been arrested, 30 of them juveniles.
He's got 20 million followers on social media, and after an ill-conceived stunt in New York's Union Square, he also has an arrest record.
Kai's ignorance, albeit unintended, had far-reaching consequences that he could never have predicted. It was a well-meaning meetup that went awry. This wasn't the end of his story. Rather, it was a chance for him to refocus on his goals and reevaluate what really mattered. For Kai, this meant something that would last, rather than just breaking records. The journey ahead wasn't about avoiding mistakes, but rather about learning from them, and that lesson would influence everything that came after. 2024 was a new year with new objectives, and one of them really elevated the gaming aspect of streaming. A typical gaming stream shows a guy sitting in a chair playing the same games over and over again. The concepts are redundant and meant to be repetitive. Their sets even go as far as a blank wall and neon sign. On May 8th, 2024, Kai completely changed the formula by releasing a 2-minute trailer that announced his next challenge, a non-stop marathon that would go on until he defeated Elden Ring. It was scripted, scored, and shot like a real movie, complete with lighting setups, camera crews, stunt coordination, and visual effects. CENAT's bedroom was turned into a high fantasy world with specially constructed sets, intricate props, and attire straight from the game. He didn't just play the role, he became it. The immersive theatrical experience was far from advanced than anything the platform had ever seen. This wasn't a gimmick, rather it was a shift to a new gold standard. From Elden Ring DLCs to Bloodborne and Batman, on November 1st, 2024, Kai began the month-long Mafia Thon, and it was immediately apparent that this wasn't just another stream, rather it was a spectacle unlike anything Twitch had ever seen, taking place inside a $55 million mansion that was more than 30,000 square feet in size. Kai continued to add movie-level production, with over 67 cameras recording every aspect and 5-person production crews working in rotating shifts. Kai turned his life into a live broadcast. Whether he was eating, sleeping, or taking a shower, not a single second was missed. Kai's live broadcast was unscripted, uncensored, and accessible to the public at all times. But what really made Mafia Thon 2 unique was its scope. It was more than simply a live feed, it was a cultural event as fans watched to see who would enter Kai's life next. There was a fresh sense of suspense every day. The guest list was insane, read like a fever dream, and continued to grow, from enormous gifts to AI robots that cost over $25,000. Every detail was carefully arranged and nothing was left to chance. Nothing was spared. This was more than simply content, it was a masterclass in crafting an unforgettable event for the internet. In May of 2025, Kai made the announcement of a streamer university. He would bring in a diverse range of young aspiring streamers and educate them on how to develop into great streamers. In order to teach the students, he also brought in a number of his own streamer friends. Kai rented an empty university for the students to attend. It became a massive show, another one of CENAT's excellent ideas. I am eager to see the next brilliant idea from CENAT in the near future.
Whatever you got going on, focus on yourself. Whatever you want to do is definitely possible. Chase your dreams and don't take any of it for granted. And pray, like legit have a close connection with God.